Coming from all the way up, round, and then we're going all the way down. So this is like a snake road in Malta, Melilla. Hi, welcome to my channel, welcome to my space. There'll be a lot of background noise because I'm on the road taking our usual daily walk. See that beauty? Like, there's a sea there. Melilla is a very beautiful city, to be honest. Not because I live here, but it's just really cool. We're just walking and we'll pass by a strawberry farm. And my husband decided to go and ask if you can buy it, because I can imagine that it will be so fresh. How did they talk? What did they say? They okay, they're harvesting though. Yeah. But it's for the shop. But it's not the season anymore, do you get? Otherwise you'd have been seeing a lot of red popping out. I can't see.
Come to this place. See, they are all by the sides.
But it's going out of season compared to how it was. Well, unfortunately we couldn't get any to buy, because usually the months of April, May, oh my god, the strawberries are always begging to be harvested, and it is always so juicy and quite cheap. I think the last time we got like 4 big boxes for 10 euros, and it was so good. This is another farm, but it's going out of season, babe. Yeah. Like comparing it to those days. By the way, most vegetables and fruits, agriculture is one way to, if you want to invest, right? Yeah, agricultural lands are not as expensive. You could actually even buy outrightly or rent at very low rates. That's one way to invest in Malta, right? In terms of agriculture. You could also, oh, we're at Papaya village. See that view. Who's shouting?
I'm doing a show.
Where is the show?
There.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, so another very good investment opportunity. Obviously, we all know how real estate is. Like, real estate anywhere would always thrive. You know, by real estate, you could buy your own house. However, if you are a non-EU and you're buying a house, you would not be able to rent that house. You can only live in it. If you are buying as a non-EU in a non-SDA area. Alright, so real estate, yes, buying a house and renting it out, buying a garage. Obviously garages are way more, you know, affordable. Like, you can get a 1-car garage for 22,000-25,000 depending on area. You could pay as much as 30,000 euros, you know, for a garage, and you rent it out. 1-car garage. But to be honest, I think there's a lot of return on investment with garages, especially if it's in an area that already have where they have issues with parking by default, because people would always want to pay to rent your garage. Okay, so buying a garage is a very good investment. This video is just very random. I was going to talk about something else, but I don't know, passing through the strawberry farm just kind of, you know, reminded me once again about one of the many investment opportunities in Malta. If you are renting a 2-bedroom and 3-bedroom apartment, and maybe you live alone, you can decide to sublet the rest of the rooms as Airbnb. However, in that case, you need to kind of have an agreement with your landlord. Not all landlords would allow you sublet a room out, but I know quite a number of people who do that. So obviously maybe their landlords do not have a problem with that, because Airbnb is really expensive. If you want to rent an Airbnb in a prime area, for example, whoever you are renting it out to for 1 month, I'm sure it will cost as much as 1,000 euros for one room if you are renting for a whole month. Trust me, in a very, very prime area. So I mean, that's one way you can try to, well, I call it invest, or let's say make some money off real estate. Then obviously, like I said, you can always buy an apartment and rent it out. Another thing that a lot of people do is that they buy apartments on plan. So when you buy an apartment on plan means it's still obviously on paper. Just what you can just see is maybe the design, architectural design and stuff, right? You do not, I mean, you can't see like a physical house yet. Possibly maybe they are at the stage where it's just foundation level, or maybe they still need to demolish the old house there, right? So basically you're buying on plan, and there will be a projection that, okay, this will be completed in X amount of years. So at the time that particular apartment is completed, trust me, the market value would have doubled. And that's because, see, I'll use our own apartment as an example. At the time that we got this house on plan, we paid less than 200,000 euros. Yes, you'll be very shocked at how much houses are now. This was like 4 years ago. We paid less than 200,000 euros. However, now if we want to sell that apartment now, we'll be selling it for nothing less than 400k. So real estate, I talked about farming, I talked about real estate. Another very good investment that one can do is in terms of transportation. Tourism in Malta is on the next level. See, this is June. Even during winter, you still see tourists coming in. Tourists will always be around. Even aside tourism, like people, not everybody owns a car, and people just prefer to order an Uber or a boat. So basically, transportation is another very good way you can have a business, and buy a car, invest into a car. You can decide to drive the car yourself. You can decide to hire someone, especially if you have like a full-time job, hire someone who would drive it for you, and they actually make very good money. That's a very good business one can do here in Malta. All right, so the fourth one I would like to talk about is in terms of food. Because Malta is small, there's really not a lot of food vendors, or I really don't buy food outside, to be very honest. But in terms of grocery stores or a small convenience store and the likes, where you can actually just buy food, I feel that you will never go wrong with that, because there's no how you would not, let's say, you would not sell, or you would not get people who would want to buy your food, because people would always eat. So it could be a grocery store, it could be a restaurant, especially African restaurant. If you're an African, I think I've been to just one African restaurant. I wasn't really pleased, but there are really no restaurant, just like when you go to London, for example, where you can walk into a restaurant, order your food, eat very good freshly made food. So food business is another very good booming business that you can venture into here in Malta. Another one I would like to talk about is in terms of construction materials, because I mean, we live in a place where there's always construction going on. I'm sure if I look around, I'll see some sort of crane. I'm not in a very busy area, so I won't see construction, cranes and all, but anything that has to do with construction is a big deal, to be very honest. So it could be you buying and supplying these resources. Resources is not just limited to the equipment. It could be, human beings are resources as well. It could be because they use a lot of Africans, or not necessarily Africans, they use a lot of third country nationals, for example, in terms of all this labor, manual, if they want to get laborers, or if they want to get people who have certain skills. It could be plumbing, it could be electricians, it could be tilers, different. I don't know where they ship them from, but I know that there was a time at some point in our apartment, in our block, they had to pause because of lack of workers. So you could just decide that you want to venture into, maybe you have maybe you come from Libya already, or you come from all these places where it is not too difficult to transition to this place. so you can always get workers, supply it to the develop, supply them, or if you have a way of getting this material. I would say generally Malta is a small island, and it is, as much as it is developed and it is, let's say it is considered developed, there's still a lot of needs, there's still a lot of, you know, problems that needs to be solved, unlike all these very big countries where everything is already kind of sorted and it's very difficult for you to break into different sectors and markets. No, in Malta there would always be that need that needs to be met. There would always be that thing that you feel that, no, this is a problem, let me do something and then solve it. You know, so that's one of the advantages of living in a small country. Another area that you can invest in, or you can pretty much do some sort of business, is in the area of childcare. There are lots and lots of children in Malta, and it's almost as if activities are limited. I don't know, like, if you want to maybe take your kids somewhere, you can just count with maybe your 10 fingers, and pretty much that will be all. So anything, like at the moment now, there's a place currently open, it's called Luna Park, where they have a lot of all these rides and all, but it's only open in June and July. You know, we don't really have anything. And then in December there's Fairyland, you know, but we don't really have these amusement parks and the likes open all year round. It could be amusement parks, it could be some sort of very unique play. I know there's one that opened recently in Smart City, Gravity, right? Anything that has to do with children, basically. Entertainment, like if you want to organize your children's birthday party, you know, it could be that you have a venue, it could be you have something, because people pay a lot for children's activities. It could be entertainment, it could be maybe birthday celebrations, it could be in terms of fun, it could be in terms of summer activities, winter activities, like different things. Just look around, especially if you already have passion in these things and you see that, oh no, I'm in this country, I should be able to do this. I know that a lot of these things in terms of childcare and stuff might require investing in space, but you could start from somewhere, to be very honest, and that's a very good way to invest. I know that when it comes to things that has to do with children and childcare, stuff like food handling and childcare management certifications are required, but that is a very good way to also set up some sort of business. One thing I would really like to talk about as well is in terms of anything that has to do with team bonding activities. You know, maybe if you have experience in terms of people management, team bonding activities that people can engage in, and you know, stuff like that, it will actually really thrive here because they are really limited. And in terms of registering a business, you can go to businessfirst.com.mt and they will direct you in terms of how to go about it and, you know, steps that you need to take to register your business. I hope this video was helpful. See you again.